Hello, beautiful people. It is me, Tasha K with Goddess Day. And whether you are on your 1K journey, your 10K journey, or your six-figure journey, this is the place for you. Today, we're going to be talking about how to fix bad financial habits in 30 days. This one is a topic that I think is very important because sometimes we get stuck in these financial cycles and we don't know how to get out of it. So that is what I'm going to be addressing today. Are you ready? Let's get into it. All right. So when you are looking to fix a bad financial habit and you want to do it in 30 days, the first thing that you have to do is identify the problem. That shouldn't be a surprise, but the thing is, there are so many financial issues and financial challenges that we have lurking in the background that we haven't really identified. So like it might bother us from time to time, but it hasn't necessarily lodged itself in our brain as an issue that needs to be addressed. Last month, I realized that I have been walking on my toe and it hurts. And this has been going on for about 6 months. And I have been like repositioning it and rubbing it a little bit, but it hadn't really registered as, oh wait, no, this is actually something that I need to take care of. My toe is literally hurting me all day long for 6 months straight, and I'm just kind of doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but haven't taken the necessary steps to fix it. You would be surprised how many things there are lurking in the background of your life related to your finances and related to other things that are causing problems, but you haven't necessarily identified it as a problem. So take a second and just pay attention to what are those little thorns that prick you from time to time, and you have gotten comfortable with it, and you have just allowed it to prick you, and you kind of just swat it away, and you have just accepted it as a norm in your life. Now, there are some things that are obvious, right? They're like, hey, problem here. They're obvious. But for even the things that are not, those are habits that are chipping away at your finances little by little. They're chipping away at your ability to achieve financial freedom. They're chipping away at your ability to get to your financial future. And you want to be able to lock eyes on it. You want to be able to focus on it. You want to be able to target it and deal with it. All right? So that is the very first step. Number 2, the second thing that you want to do is acknowledge on the inside that you have a desire to change this for real. You know how sometimes you like have a desire to change something for play, like it's cute, like, oh, I should do something about that. But you're not really ready to put the work required behind it. Those are not the things that we're ready to focus on and lock in on. These are things where you say, I'm making the commitment to genuinely do something about this because I want a different outcome in this area. I want my finances to take flight. I want to have a good budget that I can actually stick to. I want to have money in the bank. I want to start investing. And for me to be able to do those things, I know that something is going to have to change, and I'm ready to change it. That's step 2. Acknowledging that you want to change it and being ready to change it. Now, the third thing is something that I've never really heard anybody talk about. But in step 3, even though we've determined that you're ready, in step 3, I don't want you to do anything about it yet. Don't start getting into action mode, especially if you're an overachiever, especially if you're all about doing. You got the notebooks, you got the checklist, you just ready to hop on stuff and get it done. Not yet. Don't do anything yet. Identify the issue, acknowledge that you want to do something about it, get ready to do something about it, and now I just want you paying attention to how you are about that thing. I want you paying attention to when does that issue come up for you? How do you feel when it comes up? where are you when this usually comes up? And when you start thinking about doing something about it, what mindset comes up for you? What story do you start to tell yourself? I remember when I was in my getting my fitness journey together, before I started working out, I just started to see is it better for me to work out during the day or in the evening? And I would just feel out what if I went to work out now? It's I haven't eaten yet. Okay, so it doesn't make sense for me to put that event too early in the morning because I want to make sure that I go after breakfast. And then I started thinking about what if I just went in the evening? And then I noticed how I would feel in the evening, baby girl is tired. I done worked all day. If I were to plan going to work out in the evening, it wouldn't be a good situation. And a lot of times I would be making excuses about why I'm not able to go. Okay, so you want to be paying attention to how do you feel about it? What comes up for you? A lot of times when I would be thinking about going to the gym, I would think, I don't feel like it. I don't want to. So I knew that I had to confront this fact that even though I don't feel like it, they don't have nothing to do about nothing. But these are not things that you want to first become aware of when you start taking action. You just start bumping into it. Even before you take action, you want to start to get an awareness of what those obstacles are going to be so that you can start shifting your mindset before you ever even took an action. The reason that this is important, and I think that this is a step that so many people miss, is because when you start taking action and it's not going the way that you want to, guess what? You start making excuses for why you should quit. But when you start thinking about it beforehand, you already understand, no, this is just how I am. I'm just like this. This is just what's coming up for me. And this is what I'm going to deal with throughout my journey. So let me just get used to dealing with it. It's not something that's going to be handled overnight. So you just get used to the idea that this is a practice. This is something that I'm working on and that I'm going to work on ongoingly. All right. The fourth thing that I want you to do, you've already done the mental work. You've already considered it. You've already thought about it. You've already become self-aware. Number 4, I want you to now start looking at what are the habits that you can create around it in order to be successful. You have the self-awareness of who you are and how you are. Use that self-awareness to now create some habits that will allow you to be successful in what you're trying to do. Rituals and habits are so important. Having that morning routine. Yes, the routine. Getting into a routine that is going to give you the momentum to do the things that you need to do as it relates to your finances and as it relates to every area of your life, right? So you thought about it, you've gotten yourself prepared, you created the habit, and now you're moving inside of a routine. What you're actually doing is reprogramming yourself, right? So when I was on my fitness journey, I went through these steps to build a new habit, and now my habit is stronger than my excuse. So I'm on the couch and I'm trying to think about, should I go work out? And I'm already making 3 excuses for why I shouldn't. But before I get to the 3rd excuse, my body has already physically gotten up, gone into the closet, picked out my workout clothes, putting them on. And I'm like, dang, I've barely even actively made the decision yet. But that's because I have now programmed myself that this is just what we're doing. It's just what we're doing. This is just what we're doing. And when you get your habit on autopilot, that's how your destiny gets created. That's how your future gets created. Okay? And then number 4, you got the rituals, you got the routines, you're building the habits. Number 5, you start to refine your efforts based on how things are going. Okay? So you thought that doing your budget on the 1st would be a good idea. But you realize that on the 1st, you're very overwhelmed. There's a lot to do. You're not really focused. So maybe it's better to move it to the 15th instead of trying to do it on the 1st. So now you have to look at what's going on in your life and how should you actually move. What is it they say that a plan is never going to survive contact. You got the plan, but it's not going to survive contact with the real world. The plan is just the plan. It's a good guideline. It's a good outline. It gives you some ideas on which direction you should be moving in, but you're never really going to know what the ultimate plan is going to look like until you start integrating this plan in your life and you start seeing, okay, this is working, but this is not working. This is how you start to change your financial habits. This is how you start to fix a bad financial habit. You took something that, wasn't really going the way that you wanted it to, right? You find yourself spending all your money every month and you don't have any money to save, right? And now you start going through these steps so that you can fix that. And the sixth thing that I want you to focus on as you're creating new money habits and fixing bad financial habits, the sixth thing that I want you to focus on is to discover the magic of having the proper structure. All right. So for me, when I was working out, at first I was trying to go to the gym and work out by myself. Right. My structure was I would put it on the calendar, and that's how I would know when to go and I would know what to do. Except the only problem was when it came up on my calendar, I didn't go. I didn't do it. So what that meant was putting something on your calendar is a structure, but is that structure strong enough for you to actually do what you said you were going to do? So now, instead of just putting it on my calendar, I will have an accountability partner there. Or I actually hired a trainer to meet me there. So I have somebody who's going to hold me accountable to doing what I said I was going to do. That is a structure that I couldn't get away from. So there are different types of structures depending on where you are, depending on how ingrained that financial habit is in your life. The more deeply the financial habit is ingrained in your everyday habits, the more support you're actually going to need. If this is something that's just like, it's a new habit that you picked up, it's not serving you well, you want to get rid of it, it might be easy for you to just put something on the calendar or do some affirmations or, write some stuff down and say, I'm not going to do this, and that's what I'm committed to. Or you might need an accountability partner, or you might need a coach. So you have to decide for yourself, what is the level of accountability that you need to disrupt this financial habit and start going in a different direction, all right? The final thing, this is perhaps my favorite. If you are looking to change your financial habit and build a better financial habit in 30 days, get rid of those old financial habits that you had that were not serving you, what I need you to understand, that is not going to happen in 30 days. So you could just get that out of your mind right now. I know that somebody somewhere said that you can build a new habit in 30 days, but they lied. You can start doing something new in 30 days, but the habit isn't going to kick in until day 60 and day 90, especially if you want that habit to be on autopilot so that you're not thinking about it. It just happens. It's just natural. It's just a part of your life. I like to call it a practice, right? Getting rid of bad financial habits and creating a new practice. Because this is something that isn't going to happen just because you wrote it down. It's not something that happened that's going to continue to happen just because you did it for 30 days. This is something that you're going to have to focus on and develop a new lifestyle around. All habits are a matter of lifestyle. If you're looking to work out, if you're looking to eat better, if you're looking to budget, whatever it is, you're going to have to create a new lifestyle around it. And if you're not willing to do this, then just keep it on the playground, because that's the only place that it should be. In order to get true transformation, it's going to require a lifestyle change, and that is not necessarily a comfortable conversation. When I first started my fitness journey, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be snatched after 30 days. I was like, oh, I got my 30-day challenge. It's going to be lit. My stomach about to be... Not at all. Even I was consistent for 30 days. I looked exactly the same. That's because it takes more than 30 days. I don't care how many videos you see, and they said, do this in 30 days, full transformation. They're lying. And you just have to get comfortable with the idea that it's going to require a new lifestyle. I was like, okay, the 30-day challenge didn't work. I wasn't ready to admit that this wasn't going to be a quick process. I said, okay, maybe a 90-day challenge will work. Let's do this for 90 days. it's been over a year, and I have finally had to accept, oh, this is just how my life needs to be. Okay, you mean I got to work out every day? Like, this is something that I need to do every week. It's not like just do it for a period of time and then I'm good and then I can stop. Even with your diet, this isn't something that you just do for a little bit of time and then think you can go back to your old ways. No, you're going to undo everything that you did. So with that being said, before I drag this on like I am known to do, I just want you to take these steps and implement it into your life so that you can get rid of any bad habit that you have, whether it's finance related or not. This framework is something that I use on the regular at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the quarter. I'm very big on beginnings. I always got a big plan for the beginning of the month, the beginning of the year, the beginning of the quarter. I love getting that new energy and taking that momentum and turning it into something that's going to change my life. But even though I have to start on the 1st and I have to start on a Monday and I have to start at the beginning of the quarter, maybe you don't. Maybe you can just start something new on a Wednesday. Maybe you can just pick up a new habit today. But at the very least, start thinking about it. Okay? And if you want to start tackling your finances like you never have before and have a financial coach in your pocket who's going to tell you what to do step by step, make sure that you download our budget template below. We have the spreadsheet version and we have the printable version, and I love both. I use both. I need to see it from all the different angles, all right? So thank you guys so much, and with that, make sure that you leave a comment so that I know what is one bad financial habit that you want to leave in 2023, or what's one bad financial habit that you are saying enough is enough, and you are not taking that same habit into your future. Thank you guys so much, and make sure that you lock in and stay tuned for our next video.